Some days I feel like I don't know who I am. Or I guess I just feel like unsure of or unhappy with whoever it is I think I am. Because I don't feel like I matter. Or like I belong anywhere. Or I don't know. I guess it's difficult to feel like I have anything to offer the world if I don't know what I'm supposed to. Yeah. Uh, okay. Okay. I see what's going on here. You see, Bomberman, not everyone's name has a literal description of what it is they do in it. So for other people, it can be a little more difficult than that. Okay, well, you see, most people that aren't bomber persons, they have to grow up and discover what the world around them is like, and establish relationships, and develop skill sets. And when they've factored in all of those, and more, then they can decide what their very specific and important contribution to all of humanity will be, and when they know what that is, then they can feel confident in whoever it is they are. Yeah, well, it is. How could it not be? Bomberman Hero. Huh? Is that not enough information? Game reviewed, done, we good? Do you guys want to start somewhere else? I don't know if just me shouting it conveys all the let's start somewhere else. It was Christmas 1998, and I was four and a half, something or other. And my brother and I would typically get a game each on Christmas, and I don't know about you guys, but we would immediately recognize that familiar, beautiful, rectangular shape of a wrapped video game sitting under the tree and race to open them together. And when it was my turn to unwrap my video game, what did I find? After absolutely wrecking that wrapping paper shit all up and down, Bomberman Hero. Huh?
It was a complicated feeling initially because I had never heard of this game, and I don't even know if I knew at the time just who this bomber of men was. But nonetheless, I was still crazy excited, don't get me wrong. I mean, just look at this face. This is the face of excitement. You can just see it going like, yeah, I'm tired, it's so early. You gotta get up really early to open Christmas presents.
I was excited firstly because, holy shit, new video game. But also just because the box looked really awesome and intriguing.
I mean, just take a look at this for a second. You got Bomberman just flying around like it's a thing he does in space. And we all know, you throw a little space at something, it instantly becomes pretty cool.
But perhaps most important of all, I was so excited to play Bomberman Hero because this was my game that I got to play that Christmas morning.
I really identified with Bomberman Hero in this big way right from the start, and every time I've played it throughout my life, I've always had this feeling, for some reason, that this game is who I am somehow. This game holds the key to my identity. This game rings true to the very core of my... Holy shit, what's this? What? Why? Look at this little guy dance. He's just an orb with arms and feet, and he's just having the time of his life just dancing away. I gotta hug him or something? Ouch! You hurt people? Why don't you love me? Okay, well, what happens next? What happens after the little dancing guy? A giant inflating chicken descends from the heavens and explodes into an army of baby chicks. What is happening, guys? I don't know if I'm on board. Oh, look! Emilio is here. It's Emilio, everybody. Remember that guy?
Bomberman hero. Yeah, it's a weird game. And I've come to realize that makes it more difficult for me to explain why I love and relate to it in such a specific way that's beyond just being all like, it's fucking Bomberman Hero, man. It's the best. It's the best. But I certainly do love this game. Like, a lot. Like, I would probably hug it if it were bigger and, you know, more huggable, and it wouldn't look really stupid if I tried it. Oh, whatever, we can try it, it's okay. Oh. I don't think it worked. It's okay. It's fine, it's just, don't look at me now. But I know I don't just love this game because it was my game or because it's weird. I know in my heart that I love it for some deeper reason. Some reason that must be far more fundamental to who I am. And that makes me think maybe we should go back just a little bit more. It was August 1998 and I had just started kindergarten. And you know what? I sucked at it. And I don't just mean the lessons or various other learnings, I mean the socializing and making friends bit.
And I mean, obviously you're not good or bad at growing up, making friends, or, you know, overall just becoming a person. But try explaining that to me at 4, 4.5, or 22. I grew up in this small town, and I mean really small.
I mean, this town was so small. You could have called it Smallville?
What have I become? The significance of this being, I went to school with roughly the same group of maybe 14 kids tops, from kindergarten all the way to 8th grade, with no middle school. So as far as my entire school career, there wasn't a lot of fallback plans in the friendship department. You know, you make one group of kids see you as the weirdo who loves cats, stuffed animals, and tonic trouble, and before you know it, everybody sees you as just the weirdo who loves cats, stuffed animals, and tonic trouble. So I wasn't very well liked during those years, but that's okay, because now I know that it's just because all the other kids were just jealous. Because they didn't win the 2nd grade Halloween costume contest with the greatest SpongeBob costume ever made. So you know what? There's nothing wrong with cats, stuffed animals, and tonic trouble. I'm gonna go.
Anyway, it's a rough time. But not quite so rough in a way that feels obvious. Because it's not like I was being bully punched every day, or even being made fun of or ostracized for the same things consistently. And I've come to realize that just makes it all the more difficult to explain why it was so shitty, beyond just being like, it was fucking grade school, man. It was the worst. But I do think it's worth emotionally exploring and trying to explain better work. Because it's the kind of formative shit I had to go through to become the chubby and adorable man you see before you today. And you know what, speaking of chubby and adorable, Bomberman has a sidekick for a few levels in this game, and man oh man, he's
Louis! Oh god, just look at him. He's like this big green rabbit thing, and you ride on his back, and he can jump on walls, and he's really good at killing these guys who attack you like a sexual predator.
I should say that not everything in Bomberman Hero is crazy weird though. In fact, you quickly learn that the plot is just Star Wars.
Bomberman has to rescue Princess Million, who sends her droid Piebot to inform him that not only has she been kidnapped, but that she also has a disc containing information about the bad guys. Which we can only assume is about their great big base that is totally not a Death Star, right? Bomberman Hero is also pretty straightforward when it comes to gameplay. You make your way through various stages, maybe pick up some random gems and try to get the maximum score for each level, all the while bombing your way through obstacles and various enemies. Enemies like this. See, this is what I'm talking about with this game. All of these enemies would just be so strange in any other context. And yeah, pretty much all games have weird enemies because what is a Goomba? Please, I'm being serious. You guys gotta tell me because I ask my therapist, Dr. Mailman, every day, and he doesn't know. I'll never know. But the enemies in this game are just all over the place and vary so much from one another.
And it's not just the enemies that are like this. It's the whole game. Bomberman Hero has a way of playing with your expectations.
Like when you're walking around this level and you're thinking you're just playing a normal video game or whatever, and you see this budding flower and you're all like, oh, perhaps I should inch closer and get a glimpse of this fine piece of nature, and that's when, BAM! The flower opens up and reveals its horrifying face that it has for some reason, and it's all like, boom, this is Bomberman Hero, bitch! Who are you gonna be for the rest of your life?
See, that's what it is about Bomberman Hero. It may not be the craziest or even the most fun game out there. There's certainly more what the fuck or heavily praised games to be played. But man, its aesthetic, personality, and capability to surprise really just cultivates joy and later nostalgia in this way that no other game does for me. I love this game for its weirdness, and everything else that makes it different from other games. The things that make Bomberman Hero, Bomberman Hero. It's a game that is unapologetically itself. And that's why when you play it, you can't help but establish a relationship with it. And speaking of establishing relationships, I did eventually make some awesome friends towards the end of grade school. And I made that happen partially because every time we would get a new student, I would make it my mission to be friends with them. Because it was this new opportunity, a new person to shove myself in front of, like, this guy, maybe? Friends? Please?
I remember once this new kid and I were on the swings during recess, and I built up all this courage to turn to him and ask, hey, do you want to be my friend? And he sort of looked at me all confused and said, aren't we already friends?
I had no confidence in myself at the time because I felt like no one wanted my personality to come out. Because all the little random things that kids would make fun of me for were just that. The things that only I did or liked or said. The things that made me me. But as I tell you all of this, I can't help but feel like I should apologize or something. It can be difficult for me to respect my problems, especially if I'm comparing them to someone else's. But that doesn't mean it wouldn't be valuable for me to try and work through them and talk about them comfortably.
Because think about it. If Bomberman drops an active bomb directly under his feet by accident, and he just decides to sit there saying, oh, well, this is bad, but look at old Kevin Bomber over there. He's got 10 bombs under his feet and a weird guy coming after him. So I don't want to, I'm not gonna bother anyone with my same old boring problem.
And then he explodes. Because of course he does. I mean, geez, Bomberman, there's a bomb under your foot. Maybe you should deal with that shit instead of
getting so in your head about it. Point being, I didn't have the worst childhood ever, but I did spend a considerable amount of time in an environment where my individuality was met with negativity. When your personal understanding of yourself conflicts with the outside world's understanding of who it is you are, it can be dick hard to be confident. And you know, if that's how it is, it stands to reason that you may also spend a dick ton of time being introspective and, you know, making a YouTube show where you talk about your feelings with a character that has a pink dot over his head and an IBM monitor for a face. Yes. Well, sometimes it just doesn't feel like enough. I mean, I may be okay with the person I am, and that's great, but it doesn't necessarily mean that I do anything worthwhile. Yeah, I feel like just because I like myself, that doesn't mean I'm necessarily bettering the world in any way. Well, yeah.
I feel like it's worth noting that I started school just a few months before I fell in love with Bomberman Hero, because here I was, feeling rejected because of my own individuality, while simultaneously enjoying the hell out of this game entirely because of its. Bomberman Hero is more than just a pile of nonsense, explosions, and explosive nonsense. It's also a symbol of eccentric individuality that reminds us that each experience can be a weird, almost indescribable standalone journey that can charm us if we let it and enhance us if we love it. Bomberman Hero, for me, is a lot like a person that you love just for how it feels to be in the same room with them. And that's what we can all be to someone. You don't have to always quantify what it is that makes you valuable, especially not with how successful you are, how well you fit in, or by comparing yourself to someone else. And if there is something you must do, something you must make, create, or accomplish to feel like you know who you are, know that it doesn't have to completely define you. Because if it is going to be great, one of the reasons it's going to be great is because you're great. Just fucking because you're you. Because we can love Bomberman Hero solely for its individuality and unique characteristics. I think we can also love ourselves just for our own individuality and our unique characteristics. And with that, I just want to say, thanks, Bomberman. You're the best.